All right, so in this video, I will explain project one and also help you get started on project one, okay? Once again, the first project, which is called Modified Contour Volume Drawing, is due February 14th. However, that's the second part, that's the finished drawing. The first part, which is just the contour line drawings, are due February 2nd, I believe. But just make sure that you turn in both. Yeah, February 2nd by 10 o'clock p.m., which is a Tuesday. Okay, so please read the assignment sheet carefully. I will explain it verbally very quickly as well. So what you will do is you will go around your house, wherever you are, and look for an item that has a lot of interesting texture, lines, etc. Something that's not completely smooth, and at least like there's some form, complex forms, etc. So for example, this cup is not a good example, right? There's minimal lines on the cup itself, okay? While there's some texture on the cup, I don't think it's prominent enough, because you will have to draw, like you did for your hand drawings, all the lines that you see within the object, okay, or on the object. So not a very interesting object. Now if you were to cut it up or crumple it, which I won't do because this isn't mine, anyway, make it more interesting, but I would try to find something that's a little more interesting. This, for example, is not very interesting, right? It has some lines inside the tape roll, and for this project you would have to draw all the lines that you see. So if you want to do that, I mean, then maybe it's a possibility, but I would recommend something like kitchen scissors, right? It has lines on the blades, interesting shapes in the handles, or a paint roller if you have one. A lot of interesting forms, different variety and thickness of lines, different shapes, okay? Or you could choose your hand again, okay? So after you choose your object, which in this case I will choose my hand, okay? I like choosing my hand because you will have to draw the object at different angles and perspectives, and with the hands there's so many options. Like you could do a fist, you could do a peace sign, you could do all 5 fingers out like this. So this is a project that will be very time consuming, and first because you will have to do 11 to 13 contour drawings, specifically modified contour drawings of your object, okay? So if you haven't done your blind and modified hand contour drawings for homework, you know that it can be frustrating and not easy, because you have to try to get every line, and also you can't take your pencil off the paper. So this is the same thing where it will be one continuous line for the 11 to 13 drawings, okay? This project is also more of the possibly the most abstract project, in that we won't be drawing. There are elements where we draw from life and observation, which is from the contour line drawings, but the second part, which is shading, focuses on helping you get started and used to and learning how to control how much pressure you put to get different volumes, right? It applies the knowledge you gained through drawing the volume scales, okay? Because once again, the volume scale is so important this semester, okay? And learning to know to shade in the different volumes. So third point, this project should be done in graphite, in pencil only. So no charcoal, no marker, no colored pencil, no Conte crayon, okay? Just pencil, please. And please utilize all the different kinds of pencils, the 6B, 4B, 2B, HB, B, 2H, 4H, etc. Okay. you will need all of those. And then the fourth part is you will be drawing or using a 18 by 24 inch piece of paper, white drawing paper. If you did pick up an art kit, you will notice that there are 3 kinds of paper. Like I said in my video last class, there's a newsprint paper, which is very flimsy and thin and gray, much like newspaper. And then there is a kind of thicker, heavier white drawing paper, and then there's a very thin white drawing paper. So please choose the heavier, right? The thicker. If you put your fingers and kind of rub against the paper like this, you will notice that there's a difference, okay, in thickness of the paper. So for all projects, please use the thicker white. Okay. So once you have your object, and you're all set up, I would recommend for this first part to use a softer pencil, a darker pencil, okay, such as 4B, 6B, 2B, okay. The reason why I say this is because if you do use like an H pencil or 2H, when you're drawing, there's a possibility that since you're so focused on, getting your drawing done, you might accidentally press down really hard onto your paper and create indentations or scratch lines in your paper. And when you go in and clean up some lines after your first part, you may notice that some of the pencil line work doesn't erase completely because you have accidentally like indented into the paper, okay? So 11 drawings, 11 modified contour drawings. Each time, different orientation, different perspective, and your goal in the end for the first part is to fill this page, to break down this page, your paper, into lots of lines, with lots of lines and shapes, okay? So here I go. You can sit or you can stand, but please find a position, comfortable position where you can focus on each drawing. For each of the 11 to 13 drawings, please be prepared to spend a good 4 to 5 minutes on each drawing. Now, for the sake of this demonstration and video, I don't want you to watch me draw for 3-4 minutes for a contour, so it will be a little bit quicker, but all right. So let's see the first one. Okay, remember, modified contours, still 75%-ish of the time should be looking at the object. All right. Remember, press lightly. One continuous line. By the end of this, you will be sick and tired of whatever object you're drawing, and also just contour drawing in general. But it's such an important exercise.